Hello everyone, it's Susie and I'm back to bring you this week's virtual picture news. We're following on from last week's Manchester United's new football stadium story with another story from someone who's very famously linked with football. So let's get going and take a look at this week's picture. What can you see? Is there anything you like or dislike? Do you have any questions? Use the clues in the picture and some of the questions you have asked to make a prediction as to what could be happening in the news this week. Let's look at this week's story. Ex-England football manager Sir Gareth Southgate has shared his thoughts on young people and his fears that many are spending too much time online, gaming and using social media. He stated how important it is for young people to have positive role models beyond social media influencers. Drawing on his own experiences during a talk for the BBC, he said the UK needed to do more to encourage young people, particularly young men, to make the right choices in life and not be afraid of failure. How does this week's story make you feel? Maybe this week's story has made you think of a role model who's already in your life and you feel grateful for them. Or perhaps you feel a little guilty, as you might sometimes spend a bit too much time online. Now would be a good time to explore the emotion response grid a little more. You could share some of your thoughts and feelings with those around you. Let's look at this week's big question. What qualities should a positive role model have? Let's find out more about Sir Gareth Southgate's speech. Role models. In his speech, Sir Gareth called on people to help create better leaders. He spoke about Harry Kane and Jordan Henderson, who were in his England squad during his time as manager, as players who helped to inspire pride in the team. He said, "They were role models I wanted others to emulate, where mistakes weren't ridiculed, but were seen as part of a process. We have to show young men that character is more important than status, that how you treat others is more important than how much money you make." Working as a team. Talking about the importance of working alongside others, Sir Gareth said, "We shared personal stories. We talked about our country, the football legends who came before us, and our place in history. By the end, we knew who we were. A proud, diverse, resilient team that stood up for each other and was ready to write our own chapter in English football history." Success. Sir Gareth Southgate said, "If I've learned anything from my life in football, it's that success is about much more than the final score. It isn't a straight line, and it's not a single moment, because true success is how you respond in the hardest moments. It's about having the belief and resilience to persevere. Not everyone will win trophies, but everyone can live a life where they can constantly strive to improve, where they can look back and say, 'I gave my best. I stayed true to myself and I made a difference.' That is real success." Do you agree with each piece of advice? Can you reflect on any of the lessons you've learnt so far in your life? Can you think of some guidance or words of wisdom you might give to those younger than you? If you're a Subscribe School, don't forget you'll find even more questions and information in this week's teacher planning pages and resources 1 and 2. If you're new here, click the link in the description to download a free sample pack and see what's included. Take one last look at this week's picture and big question. Share your thoughts. Reflection. A positive role model can be anyone who inspires us to be our best selves. They might show kindness, make good choices, or simply encourage others by the way they live and treat people. Challenges. Why not try this week's follow-up ideas in your Picture News pack, which this week are all about role models. It'd be so lovely to be able to share why your role model has inspired you. So perhaps you could write them a letter telling them why you admire them and how they have influenced your life. You could also draw a picture of you and your role model together or create a special portrait of them. We really do love hearing from you, so don't forget to share your amazing ideas and challenges with us. We're featuring so many of your ideas on our social media channels, so your special work might be selected and featured next week. If you enjoyed this video, give us a like, leave a comment, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss next week's story. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!